Hi, I'm Ann, and it's Take It Up a Notch. So today I'm going to make biscuits from scratch. These biscuits are light and fluffy, and they're delicious. They will go perfect with my Southern sausage gravy recipe that I will link the video up above. And this is a really easy recipe. It's Chef Johns Perfect Biscuit recipe, and I will link a link to his recipe and all the ingredients down below. So let's get started. So this recipe, just a few ingredients, not bad. We will start out with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and let's get this going here. We're gonna scoop this off. I have 1 cup in here already. And to that, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. We're going to mix that together in the flour. So to this flour, I'm going to add 7 tablespoons of ice cold, which I put in the freezer about 30 minutes ago, unsalted butter. And instead, a lot of times you'll see that people just cut it up in squares and cut up in little pieces and put it in and mix it in there with their fingers. What I'm going to do today is I am going to use a box grater and grate the butter. So it'll be little ribbons of butter in there mixing in with that flour, and that will go all through these biscuits and they will be delicious. Okay, so I have my box grater and my 7 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to grate this down. And it's great when you put it in the freezer. It makes it so much easier because the warmth of your hand does warm that butter up, and you want that ice cold butter to melt down in the baking process. So what we'll do when we finish grating this, we will go ahead and put this in the freezer for about 5 minutes before we incorporate it, to get it chilled back up again before we incorporate it in the flour. So here we have ribbons of butter that are going to incorporate into the flour, but let's go ahead and put these in the freezer for a few minutes. Okay, so now we're back with our chilled butter. We're going to incorporate this into our flour mixture. And I don't want to touch it with my hands because I don't want to warm it up anymore. I'm going to use the fork. Just because if I was using my fingers, the warmth of my hands and my fingers would start to melt that butter down. You want it to be as cold as possible. So it's very well incorporated. So I'm going to make a well in the middle. To the well in the middle, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of ice cold buttermilk. A little bit at a time. I'm just going to use a fork for right now. I'll use my hands as soon as I get it out on the countertop. Okay, so now I'm going to roll it out onto a floured surface. So I have a little more of the flour here. I'm going to incorporate all of this together. Need all of this in. We're going to try to make it into a rectangle. We get all of this incorporated in here. You can see little bits and pieces of that butter. Oh, delicious, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to roll it out a little bit. You want it about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch wide in a rectangle. And to make those fluffy layers in the biscuit, what we're going to do, we are going to fold. We're going to do this a couple of times. We're going to fold one side in, and then we're going to fold the other side over. That's a little sticky, so there's some more flour down there, so I'm going to turn it over. Roll it out some into a rectangle. Okay, that way. And I'm going to do this probably 3 or 4 times. So we can incorporate all those layers in there. Third time around. Oh, see all that lovely butter in there. Okay, so the next time, okay, it's 4th time around. Gonna get this into, we can use our cutter. Okay, so we're gonna bake these at 425 degrees. We have our oven preheating, and I'm gonna bake them in a cast iron skillet. So this is a 12-inch. So I'm gonna use the smaller, I have biscuit cutters. Biscuit cutter is very important to use because the sharp edges here will make a nice clean cut down. And it won't smash, don't turn. I always do just a smidge just to get it down in there. You can hear the air coming through there. Let's see how many we can get out of here. Okay. It's up. We want these to be touching the edges. Look at that. That is a lot of layers that's going to be in that biscuit. That is going to be good. I can get one more in there. Those went a little thin, so I need to keep from rolling this out too thin. Much better. Thicker. Okay. I have a little cast iron skillet. I'm probably going to use this bit. I'm going to do this one into a rough one and put that in the small skillet. And I hate to go to waste for a little bit of dough that's left, so we'll pat this out and put this in a smaller skillet. So we are going to bake this at 425 degrees for 13 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to put some melted butter over top and pull them out. Oh, they're going to be so good. Ah, delicious. Looks good. Here's my little one left over. I don't want to waste it. So look at how tall and fluffy they are. Oh my goodness. Wow. Awesome. Oh, delicious. So now I'm going to take a little bit of butter, put it over the top of each one, and then I'm going to let it cool. Oh, listen to that. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we'll be back for a tasting. All right, we're gonna try this. This is homemade biscuits from scratch and Southern classic sausage gravy. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Look. The gravy, you will have sausage in every bite. This is delicious. So, for a delicious breakfast, try homemade Southern classic sausage gravy with a homemade biscuit from scratch. You can use a can, but these are really easy to do and they're delicious. So thank you again for clicking on my channel. Take it up a notch. This is Ann. And if you would, please like and subscribe. Truly appreciate it, and we'll have more wonderful videos. Thank you.